Welcome back to A.R.T.'s Real Repairs for Real Customers for the progressive technician out there. We have two repairs to feature today, and both of them involve inserting leather where it is missing. We're only going to show the highlights of each repair, and we're going to focus on shaping the size and thickness of the insert. Let's get to work. So that one big flap, I'm just going to cut off of there, measure that, and see what thickness we need for our patch. There you go, 1/32 of an inch. My leather happens to be 3/64, so we'll need to skive a little bit off the backside. And there you go, just enough. Okay, here I'm trimming it up just a little bit, getting all the garbage out of there. I happen to have on hand some buckram fabric, which is a rather stiff fabric. And I'm using that to trace out a pattern. Now bear in mind, we've already shown in previous videos that sometimes we want to make our patch a certain size and trace it onto our work and make the hole fit the patch. And in some circumstances, that is the right choice. Both of the jobs we're featuring this time, however, are showing the opposite of that. So that's what makes these two repairs different than what we've shown in the past. So in this case, we're making a pattern from the hole, and we'll transfer that pattern to the leather. You trimmers out there probably hate this part, the part about getting glue on your scissors. Of course, it cleans up so easily with toluene or xylene, whatever you have on hand. And that looks pretty good so far. And this is the old mask it halfway and glue half at a time trick. And so here I'm taking my time to mate these edges together as close as possible to minimize the amount of filling. And of course, to fill this, we're going to use our glue and sand technique. We're not going to spend time on this video showing a lot of the sanding and so forth. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're focusing here on shaping the size and thickness of the insert primarily. Here it seemed like the Dremel tool did a better job of reaching into that area. And I'm showing here a little bit of the glue and sand that we had to do on the grip, and a little bit more finesse on our patch. And we'll make a quick trip around with some color. And that's about all there is to this yoke. Something stuck to this table and ripped out a piece of the leather 1 week before a wedding reception. And we shan't let anyone see our furniture in such a state of disrepair. And so it's obvious we need our patch to be the exact same thickness. And the prime consideration always in a situation like this is to find leather that has a similar embossing, that is a similar texture of our target. So we've got quite a bit of skiving to do on this one. And what you're looking at here is a dull blade. Time to replace it. Gotta get a new blade, buddy. Okay, close enough. We'll go with that. Here's a good look at the top. Notice how beat up it is. Keeping that in mind, we don't want our patch to be too neat. Look at these deep lines already in here. We certainly don't want any straight lines. So in this regard, our patch can be as irregular as we want it to be. And while we're at it, what if we just touched up some of this gold? The touch-up won't be perfect, but at least it will fill in some of these voids. So this time I've elected just to use some masking tape. We'll trace on it and transfer it directly to the leather. And how about we be careful here so we don't rip the leather again? So one difference of this approach to the prior one is that we don't have an intermediate piece to size perfectly. We just cut the leather and then we have what we have. Before actually fitting the patch, I want to take some time and get 3 colors made up. And there you go. So another variation with this repair is I'm using a contact cement. So of course, both sides get brushed with that. And for extra measure, I'm just pulling out a brass punch from the Neolithic age. That'll seat it. Now this is not a full restoration, just a repair, but I'm going to also fix some of the other blemishes that are holes through. Here a little glue and a little filler, which is an old carpenter's trick. That'll get me going. 1/2-inch tape works pretty good on the gold leaf, and then we'll just mask off the rest of it. Really, it wouldn't hurt for this lighter color to cover the entire table, but because we've also got to butt up against the wood and the gold leaf, we're just going to do the major spots just like that. Then color number 2. So this is a very random application, and being random, you might get better results if you're an established artist or if you're just completely bonkers. One or the other. This is Mr. Bonkers putting on the final application. Here I'm doing a little blending where the masking tape left a bit of a line. That'll enhance the border anyway. And then for the border touch-up, I'm just taking some gold pearl powder into some nitro, applying it in there with a brush on top of the remnants of that design somewhat. It's going to look a little different, but at least we'll bridge the gaps. And the final coat of nitro will finish the job. So there you have it, 2 slightly different approaches to shaping the size and thickness of the inserts. And we included the aircraft and the furniture guys in one video. Thanks for watching.